My name is Jacqueline.
Hi, I'm Austin Okolo.
And today we're going to be talking about life as a life science student.
As part of the MAME Collective.
So I study pharmacy, and how do you get into the course? What's the application process like? Well, I live in UK, so we have to do this UCAS. You need to get the grades that the uni requires. For my uni, you needed at least a B, no, I think an A in chemistry. It depends as well if you're going through clearing and stuff, they might lower it, but if you want to actually get your place, get accepted and whatnot, you need to meet the requirements. So for my course it was A in chemistry, and you also needed chemistry for pharmacy.
Was King's your firm?
No.
What were your 5 options then?
I was going to study medicine.
Yeah.
So pharmacy wasn't even, I got into pharmacy through clearing.
Oh, say swear.
Yeah.
Tell me about that then.
I actually was supposed to study medicine. I applied to King's, Southampton, Nottingham, yeah. And then I decided I didn't want to study medicine. And I only had one other choice for university. I applied to Queen Mary, I got accepted. So I was actually going to go Queen Mary. And then I did better than expected. Oh yeah, side note, I took a gap year. So I was just retaking maths, so I was just waiting for my results. Yeah, that was it really, and that's how I got into pharmacy, and I'm studying at King's College London.
Got tips for the getting through A levels, getting good grades on the A levels,
Study at the beginning. Retaking. If you haven't done well, don't rush into uni, because there's no point going into a course that you don't actually want to do because you didn't do well. You don't know if you can do better next year. And sometimes if you're in, I don't know, for me, my sixth form was, you got your teachers, you have expectations, deadlines, homework, whereas when you're on your gap year, you're focused on that one thing. You're either working or focusing on another craft, but you have a lot more time to revise, and you know the content already, and you know where you should have known now what worked and what not. So I really do recommend a gap year or doing a foundation year, which opens up the opportunity to study a course that, you know, suited for you, which is the case for you. You wanted to do biochemistry, go into that.
Yeah, so I did 3 A levels, started with 4, started with maths, biology, chemistry and philosophy and ethics. Maths wasn't for me, so I dropped it after first term, which is one thing that I would advise, pick 4, so that way you can see which one isn't really for you, and then you can drop it if you're allowed to. Anyway, so I got into chemistry, biology and RE. I finished the year getting into my insurance option, which was Kent, to study biochemistry, but I didn't get into my firm, which was Sussex. So they gave me an option for a foundation year, and because I really wanted to go to that university, I said foundation year, and I thought, at the end of the day, if I'm being offered foundation year, I'm probably need it, you know what I'm saying? So if I didn't get what I thought I'd get, I probably need it. Anything you want to say to that, Jackie?
So what drew you to Kent? As a black student, you know.
You mean what didn't draw me to Kent? I didn't pick it. Oh, that why I applied?
Oh no, I mean to Sussex.
I just feel like first of all, I want to get away from London because I want to experience things by myself, and the university experience, and I thought it was a great time to live with myself, get away from home, just become a
man.
Yeah, become a man. I didn't start off as a man, but begin my path to becoming a man. So yeah, so that was one reason. Also, I just like the area, I like the uni, like the vibe it gave, the beach, whatever. So I kind of just the area of Sussex. I thought it was similar to London. Also close by, it's not like in Birmingham where I have to get it for 2 hours or whatever. So it was nearby. So I thought those are all. It's about my circumstances as well. And in the day, I know that I run a business, so I want to be able to travel back and forth quite easily as well. So it's actually about taking everything into account. 1, how good the course is for you. 2, the convenience. 3, all whatever you're doing in your life, whether it's sport, whatever, understanding the different needs that you have in it. I would actually recommend a foundation year. Apparently, statistically, people do better with foundation year than they do going to university.
And why is that?
I'll go into that now. Of course, there's a few reasons for that. Number 1 is, first of all, your first year at university is more about adapting, so more time, you might be going out, you might be your first year really experiencing club and whatever, so a lot of people just end up get letting loose a bit in their first year to experience their first taste of freedom, meet new people. So the foundation year kind of gave me a license to meet new people, experience new things without having to worry about the grades too much, even though I got too well anyway, but without having to worry about the grades too much, because obviously it's my first foundation year, so no real pressure. So a lot of my time I can spend on doing sport, competitions, different kind of stuff to really just get to the campus. And then my first year, anything that I didn't get to do my foundation year, I get to let loose a little bit longer. So now that I got another year to really, experience new things, whatever. Even though I got 2-1 this year again, but then now that I got, those first 2 years here, I've literally got the first 2 years here which aren't assessed, no real pressure. I've got the first 2 years out of my system to experience new things, meet all my friends, understand university. Now that I actually go in the second year now, I'm in the second year with 2 years experience now of the university. I've got my friends, I know the university, I know how uni works. I've got 2 years of experience. Now I can go straight into the second year. Whereas the issue with a lot of people, they'll go straight the first year, mess about, build bad habits. Those bad habits will continue in the second year now, and they don't do as well. But I had bad habits maybe in foundation year. I bought good habits this year, so now going to the second year, I've got like good habits going to the second year kind of thing. So that's one reason. That's probably the main reason as well. And obviously, like if you think about it, it's more years of education, so you're more likely going to do better kind of thing. So yeah, so I've done that foundation year, which I'm very grateful for, because it's allowed me more time to try new things, meet new people, and I feel like it's going to help me do better.
Giving you flexibility as well, which I think people always rush into first year, like university, straight from sixth form when you're a fresh little baby. You don't know anything, you don't know any better, and you might not even like the course you're studying. And that's another thing, do your research, get into it, know what you're studying, because hey, when you're doing the exams and you have no interest, it's really, really hard. Or if you're doing a piece of work, assignment, and you have no interest. I'm not saying every single assignment you'll have an interest, or every single exam you'll be like, but it helps. You study better when you like something, and it does reflect on your grades. So taking either foundation year or a year out can help you, get everything out of your system. And whilst you're on your year out, you can still, go to your friend's accommodation and live that university life, instead of going into uni and paying $9,000 for an experience.
Don't think there's like a certified route you have to take. Like there's different options. Don't ever feel like pressured, like it's your own time, and their life is short but it's long. Like in a day we're gonna live for the next 60, 70 years. So what's what's really 1 year of like you taking out to understand yourself?
1 year goes quick.
And like that year you might even waste 5 years doing a course that you don't really like, or 3 years doing a course you don't really like. So
and keep on changing the course.
But yeah,
I agree. So what is mainly taught in genetics? And I'll answer this for pharmacy.
They teach you quite a broad spectrum, which I was surprised with. Like I've learned about like biodiversity of animals, which is fascinating. That biodiversity, like how lions behavior of lions, which is mad. I learned about obviously the human physiology, like digestive system. I done a module this year about neuroscience, was solely on the brain.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, that was so good still. So it's literally like, I thought like maybe come first year I can talk from my first year experience, but my first year literally been so broad. Like I've learned about every single aspect of science, from the nature and animals to the brain to the digestive system to the whole shebang.
All right. It sounds interesting though, but again, you need to read into what you're going to be taught. Yeah, exactly. Because different unis do it, teach differently, so it's good to know.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And what are the assessments like? Do you, is it more exam or?
Oh, I'll talk about foundation year as well, just in case people go into that as well. So the foundation year is literally everything sciencey, like literally everything, chemistry, biology, even though I touched medical school, I did a module of medical, like medicine, stuff like that, which was the hardest module ever, but I got through it, luckily. Foundation is really broad, so you understand what aspect of science you actually like. And all the exams, I'm pretty sure, there was a lot of coursework. So coursework's usually like lab reports. I don't know, you'll probably be the same, like doing labs, and after your lab you do a report on it, answer a few questions, do your graphs. I hate them, I hate so down. But my
I like
exam,
the labs.
I like the labs, yeah. And one thing I would say, which I'm going to start doing next year as well, is prepare for labs. Like, honestly,
I always prepare.
I never understood, which I feel like prevented me from getting the first, because I never actually done a research of the labs, and I didn't know why I was actually in there until after, which was too late. Look at my life, man. Yeah, so exams, a lot of the multiple choice. This year, all my exams are multiple choice other than neuroscience, which was short answer questions. So I think your first year, a lot of your exams will be multiple choice, which is such a blessing.
It's sweet. For me, my course is about, so we have like 4 modules. For first year, it was quite broad. We did biochemical therapeutics, which is the human physiology, anatomy. We did a bit of neuroscience as well, which was very, very interesting. And then we have physical pharmaceutics, which is to do with, drug formulation, different types of systems, your suspension, so your Calpol to your creams. So that's an emulsion. Anyways, if you want to do pharmacy. That's what you would be doing, and that's the physical pharmaceutics. Then you've got principle of clinical care. So it's how to be a pharmacist, because you're going to be dispensing drugs. You know, it is a role in the healthcare system, so you need to know how to do it properly. So we learned that. And the next one is chemistry of drugs. So it's just the chemistry of all the drugs.
So yours is more like chemistry based, like biological chemistry, like all the tiny little aspects of science, like the
you looked at the drug molecule and
yeah,
NMR.
like the actual molecules, like the real nitty gritty, and then
something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was basically it, and just got to touch and feel.
And that's the thing. That's why I don't really go into biochemistry, because that stuff doesn't really interest me as much. The actual nitty gritty of like the tiny little chemicals. I mean, the tiny little molecules didn't really interest me too much. I was more concerned like the broader picture of like how the little things build the big thing. And
so would you
the
say
behavior.
That's more biochemistry, like the
which definitely, and pharmacy as well. So if that's for you, if you're interested in the molecules and how the molecules interact with each other,
suspensions,
that's for you. But you know what I'm saying,
the way the drug acts. So you've got like pharmacokinetics, pharmacology. So you can do either pharmacy or pharmacology. Pharmacology really goes into it. Pharmacy, it gives you more of a broad sense of everything, because then you apply it to the human body and
that's
I guess that's how you take the science and then you have to apply it in the clinical world.
Right, what can you do after university?
So you can be a pharmacist. What type of pharmacist? You can be a hospital pharmacist or a community pharmacist. You have to do an oral, and I'll get into that in another video. It's a bit competitive now. Before, you could just reach out to pharmacies, like community pharmacies or hospital pharmacies, and get some help or get an interview, but it's changed now. So you can either be a hospital pharmacist or community pharmacist. If you don't actually want to do the pharmacy route, you can go into finance, because there's a lot of transferable skills from pharmacy. You could also just do a PhD and just really No, Michael's I finished with a master.
Oh, so now.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, you could do a PhD and then get really niche and then go into maybe industry, research if you do want to go into industry, because it's not something you just say, oh, I wake up one day, I want to go into industry. It's very competitive. I think only 1% on my course get into industry or do industry. So it's very, very competitive. But it doesn't mean you can't do it. If it's competitive, go ahead. It's a race. Let's see who wins.
Go compete. From a broad sense, you can go into obviously masters. So I think if you get a 2-1 or a first, you go straight to a masters. If you get lower than that, I think it's like postgraduate or something. I can't remember what the word is, but you can do that as well. But with science degrees as a whole, usually you can hitchhike into another kind of degree, because it's all like kind of similar, and you get skills. Like I learned bumper skills in my course. You might learn jet skills. So more time, it's not too rigid. Like you can maneuver. You
can even go and do like a MBA or something completely different, and a lot of STEM applicants do that.
Therefore, like even like you can even go in law, like that's one of the degrees which is blessed, where there's so many skills you learn from it that you can literally do pretty much anything afterwards. But storage genetics, me personally, I feel like one route you could take is obviously like labs, like GSK, stuff like that. Yeah, but one other route which I'm taking, I've been to book for me, is genetic counselling, which is literally all about telling people you might be more likely to get Huntington's disease or Parkinson's disease because of your genes. You might really like to get cancer. It's literally like looking at their genes and then telling them what they're likely to get based on their genes, which is what I want to go into, which is going to be, which I get two choices. I either can do a master's and it for 2 years, or I can work for the NHS where I get experience, a master's, and I get paid, which obviously sounds a bit better.
Yeah, it does.
But also it's competitive as well, as Jackie said. So university, as time goes on, it's hard and hard to get into a job or an experience based off a degree. You need to get your work experience. So make sure you actually research. Like I said, go to university with a plan. Make sure you research what you need to do to get to the next step after university. Now I know with mine, because it's just a counselling, a lot of social work is required, because just so I can work with other people. So these are all things you look at and understand at university. And in the day at uni, you've got so much free time anyway. So
the last question is, do we enjoy our course? As you can tell, we do.
I hate it. I'm joking.
We can only speak to our first year experience.
Yeah.
I don't know how things will progress from here, but I do know I have 2 years under my belt. Well, you have 2 years under your belt, but I have 2 years of like self-development and growth to know that I know the way I study, I know the type of revision, technique, skills. I'm speaking with the both of us. We do enjoy
Yeah,
our course,
100%.
right?
Yeah, like as I said, like I picked it like I only biochemistry, but the fact that I just switched over to do this shows that I made sure I picked something that I knew that I would enjoy if I was interested. So the fact that I enjoy it is the fact that it's something I wanted to do, something I'm interested in, is why I enjoy it. And also, I was saying Jackie earlier, we more likely to do well in things you enjoy because you'll do extra reading. So I'll read books on genetics out of pleasure. Because so when you do stuff like that, when you do extra stuff outside of your course just because you really enjoy it and you find it interesting, that'll put you on STEM to get quite a good grade when you finish.
And yeah, that is that. So we'll be doing more of these videos with my life science partner in crime, Jacob. Sounds very
Austin out.